put that on the blooper.
First time, so.
Today we are experiencing a climate crisis. We are experiencing an increase in carbon emissions, and this is causing a change at scale. We're also seeing energy bills increase, and we're seeing energy usage increase. Now, one of the things that we need to do and look at is how we reduce towards a net zero world. And one of the big factors we need to look at is how we reduce to net zero in our homes. Now, I'm here today with Chris Kerr, who's CEO for Clipsal. And I'd like to talk to Chris today about what we need to do in our homes to achieve a net zero world.
Great to be here, Gareth, and it's good to get a free coffee out of you for the first time. So.
I'm going to make you pay for it, Chris. So Chris, tell me, we see bills increasing, right? So people are feeling it in their pockets right now. There's an energy crisis as well as a climate crisis. We see electricity bills going up by significant amounts. We see gas prices going up by significant amounts. What can we do?
Well, there's a lot being done, Gareth, and actually you see it with consumers now. So right now, there's certainly been some ambitions put down by the government around our net zero ambitions. So we've got to get to reduce by 40% by 2030 and get to net zero by 2050. But what you see consumers doing now is they're actually voting with their feet around putting solar into their homes and trying to manage that bill shock that you talk about. So we can see that already we're one of the most advanced around this at over 30% of homes being solar powered. So they're trying to reduce that bill shock and that energy cost. And there's always two sides of the equation. There's the supply side and then there's the demand side. So they're reducing their demand and they're changing their supply. So it's a real good outcome and they're trying to prevent that bill shock for the future.
Now, I think in our homes represent a very large portion of our emissions footprint here. Nearly 40% or over 40% is actually associated with what we do and what we do in our own homes. What can we do here?
Yeah, so you're right. Over 40% of domestic carbon emissions are produced by the home. Now, there's a mix in there, right? It's how we build our homes, how we use our homes, and also, cars are part of the home as well. So let's say half of the emissions are produced by our cars. So we see a real change happening at that. We used to see one electric car a month 12 months ago, but now it's just become like, okay, there's a white and a blue car. If we say, okay, we see a transition happening with EVs, and we need to help consumers through that on how to power those EVs at home. But equally, how do we build our homes and be more efficient about how we use the energy in our home? The only way that you can do that is get visibility to that. So even though we talked about solar, there's a very, very low percentage of people that don't know how their solar is performing. And the only way that they find out is by looking at their bill, which is too late. So metering and giving visibility is going to be really important for the future to make it simple and also scalable for consumers.
Okay. And so one of the things we could do, so we talk about electrifying things. So when we poured fuel into the next day, we now charge. We electrify things in our homes, so we change the demand side of the equation to reduce cost and also be cleaner in the energy that we use. But the cleanest form of energy and the cheapest form of energy, of course, is the energy we don't use.
That's right.
So what can we do there?
Yeah, so you've got to get visibility to what energy you're using in order to make a change, right? So we know that we have to reduce, but we've also got to change the supply side as well. So bringing visibility for consumers in a very simplistic way, consumers generally use their homes the same way all of the time. So if we can bring visibility to that, then they can make a difference and a change. Now, it can't be 3 months later and you're going to get a bill shock. It has to be real time, and it also has to be in a way where I'm having to manage something that I haven't really had to manage before. So I can tell you that if my hot water isn't ready by 5:30 p.m. for bath time, there are problems. So there is critical infrastructure in the home that has to happen. But to do that, you need to have that visibility. And I like to be an optimizer, I optimize. Consumers are having to do something which they haven't had to do before. So I see technology really evolving, learning how you use your house, your individual fingerprint for the house, and letting, say, AI take advantage of that and make the best possible outcome.
Okay, so I like that, your fingerprint changing your footprint.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What are you and the team at Clipsal doing to make this better?
Yeah, so Clipsal has been in the Australian market for over 100 years. We are, how I see it, is we're the iOS for the house. We have a big R&D powerhouse, excuse the pun, based in Adelaide, and that team of over 350 people focused on manufacturing, designing for the future for Australia. So that gives us the ability to be able to understand what the insights are in the market. Okay, there's a need. How do we adjust to that need, and how do we bring things that are going to help not only the consumer, but also the electrician, who's the trusted professional to the consumer.
Yeah. And so just to that end, a big part of this and making this happen then is what electricians do, what the trade does in enabling all of this. How will that happen?
Yeah, look, there's quite a change going on within that trade, and it's a really exciting journey for quite some time. It's the trade to be in, right? Because this transition, this electrification of homes is going to be really important to create this renewable powerhouse for Australia. So electricians, what we know is over 50% of electricians are classed as millennials. So you and me, that's under 36 years of age. And they are interested in this technology. We've always been talking about the technology, but now they're very interested in how do they shape that. And they've also got that mindset around sustainability as well. We're working hard down in Adelaide to bring products to the market that not only fit the consumer, but also the electrician, and the way that they're going to be that trusted professional through this transition.
That's very exciting. So look, we've spoken today about the role of climate change, the role of electrification of everything that we do, about energy management, energy efficiency in our homes, about making our homes fit for a net zero future. We here at Schneider Electric and through Clipsal are very committed to developing and enabling technology that is simple to use and easy to use in our homes, and enabling a smart, enabled trade to be able to make that happen through those people that we trust in our homes every day. It's very exciting. This is something we can all make work together.